All right, good evening, guys. Kenneth Torres Capital Nightly Strategy Podcast for October 5th, 2023. Before we get started into the hybrid, I want to just give some praise here to Phil and Griff at Ableway Tech, a couple of my students and now partners. They just completed another cohort of their applied systems development course, and it features the Kata 2 challenge system. That's a system that we developed in the Creativity 202 as a minimum viable product for standalone day trading and swing trading with a really reliable pattern. And I drilled Phil and Griff on that every night in live trading on camera for almost a year, and they turned that into system rules and into a course, and I taught them how to design a good course and teach it and then coach it, and they've just completed another cohort. As a result of the work that they put in as my interns and getting a year of individual coaching and having taken my foundations course and the Creativity 202 course, they put that work in. And as a result, in the past 18 months, what they've managed to do is they started their own business, full-time trading and teaching. They co-wrote a book with me that we're getting ready to publish, hopefully within the week. We're getting close. They developed a complete package of methods and indicators for the Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform, because Phil is a CMT and a CTA. They developed 2 courses that I've approved that teaches how to use that bundle and how to use the Kata 2 system and how to design systems to my specification. So they developed 2 courses, and I host that on our educational server. They've been certified by me as coaches because I've watched how they coach and I've taught them how to do that. And they have successfully completed teaching several, by which I mean 3 cohorts of their course. So that's pretty good work in 18 months. That's foundational and transformational. And it reminds me, somebody asked me what the value of the Creativity 202 and foundations courses are. Well, I'll tell you that your mileage may vary, but the ground for growing is fertile, and this is the season. That's what they were able to do in just over a year. So you tell me what the value of that course, Creativity 202, could do for you. It's allowed me to completely re-envision my business, as I've started 2 other businesses for consulting outside of the trading area from ideas that came out of the Creativity 202 course. It's pretty powerful stuff. You'll find the Harvard Business Review article published on that technique by my research partner, Angus Fletcher, and one of my students in the most recent Harvard Business Review. It's posted in Patreon as well. Now, what I will tell you is that the price for the Creativity 202 and Foundations courses, those prices are going to go up just before we release the book, because I'm expecting a lot more interest and a lot more demands on my time. And if you were ever thinking about taking those courses, now is the time to lock in the price. You get lifetime access to those courses, including all future updates and all of the recorded check-ins that we're doing. So if you were ever thinking about taking that course in your career, now would be the time to lock in those prices. Well, here's what Griff's write-up says, and I just want to highlight some of this kids great work. They provide detailed instruction and help students independently apply the rules and principles on their own trading platforms throughout the week. The best part is the hands-on exercises for the Kata Challenge, 6-week interactive that's part of the 12-week applied system development course. So in the 12-week system development course, you're learning how to design a system to my specification, our specification. And you do that by going through the steps Griff followed to build the Kata 2 system, to turn it into rule sets. And so you get to not only learn how to design a system, but you learn the nuts and bolts of that system. And then you get 6 weeks of live trading that system with coaching. They meet each week in live Zoom sessions. Each student has a trade log where they learn to enter all their trade data. So right from the beginning, practicing good record keeping and collecting data so that we can teach how to do assessments. It also demonstrates that through actual experience, that professional, profitable trading doesn't have to be complicated. In this last iteration, they had about a dozen students participate. And in the Kata Challenge, you get 3 symbols to trade in one time frame with 3 basic patterns. And they taught and traded those patterns one at a time until the kids mastered it, and then learn how to methodically combine those patterns into what we call chain trading. Very simple exits in order that the profits could run and cut the losses. That reduces complexity and cognitive load, and it simplifies the span of control through using just a few symbols, which teaches you the power of focusing and specializing. But once you can do that in one time frame, you're actually able then to scale this because the patterns and the time frames are fractal. You just execute the system effectively and the results take care of themselves. Yeah, well, so what? Well, this is the cumulative R of all of the students that were trading that together live over that 6-week period. 85R, and that's your equity curve. You want that equity curve? That's about a 0.4 expectancy, roughly. So let's examine, and this is part of the thing that you learn, is how to analyze your trades the way we do it. So when you combine the trading outcomes of 6 weeks of applying the Kata challenge patterns by all the students, the first thing you notice is a consistently rising equity curve, manageable drawdowns, 243 trades. The best winning trade was 10.9. The worst losing trade was minus 1.29R. There were 119 wins, 112 losses for a 49% win rate, 46% loss rate, 12 scratches that you get your money back after commission. And that sets up a coin flip ratio of 2.19. Well, what do we mean? Well, basically, a 49 to 46 is a 1-to-1 win rate. Slightly better. And then the payoff rate, you win 1.3 on the win, and you lose minus 0.63. So that's better than 2-to-1. Now, if you had a coin flip that paid you 2-to-1 winners to losers, how often would you want to trade that system? You want to trade it forever and taking every signal. So the expectancy is 0.35. The SQN is 3.46. And that's because there was greater than 100 trades. If you just took 100 trades and normalized it and took this NSQN, you'd get 2.22, which is a very tradable system. That's this kata system vanilla right out of the box. What was interesting to note on the composition of the traders was how diverse they were. You had novices that had never traded before, as well as experienced individuals. And the learning approach was focused on practical learning, live market conditions, minimum mission essential trading skills, which includes pattern recognition, crucial psychology, patience, discipline, and learning to think in probabilities. So, was this under controlled conditions? Yeah, a group together in a trading room. Future results may vary, and it's important to understand this is intended for educational purposes with no guarantees or predictions, because trading is inherently risky, as we know. Now, the boys have a new cohort starting up in November, and it's first come, first serve because of the hands-on nature of it. When it fills up, it fills up. And if you were ever thinking of taking that course, now would be a good time to take it before we get an influx of new students with the book sales. I hope that we get more students than we can handle. So I think maybe the best part of what they do is the feedback, which you can read on their site at Ableway Tech. But the fact that we intentionally and by design create a safe, supportive, and collaborative environment based on the principles of true storytelling and respect for the courage of individuals. You know, that's how we operate in our community of practice, because it's hard to overcome the obstacles of the individual trader. And so we think that that is a crucial element of creating an ideal learning environment. So I wanted to just spend the time to say that posting is on Patreon. So if you're interested in their course, the links are available there. Hats off to the guys who are really doing a great job. In my view, you should think of the foundations course that I teach, which is currently on sale for $1,500. It'll never be cheaper than that. And then the Kata 2 and systems design course is like $1,500. I used to charge $34.99 just for the foundations course. And I cut my price in half to give them some room to sell that course. And I think what you get is theory and practice. You get a wide-ranging set of skills. You get coachable, focused skills in a collaborative environment. And you get that for less than what we used to charge just for a 3-day weekend workshop. Thanks to COVID, we've sort of figured that out. That whole thing comes about because of the Creativity 202 course, which gave us the inspiration and the skills to be able to change our point of view and to change the way we think. And that's why that course is powerful. All right, on with the show. Thank you for your indulgence. All right, so let's get started with the 30-minute hybrid. Alcoa, I'm going to blast through this pretty quick. Catch up for some lost time. Basically a continuation trade on the collapsing dragon. Scratched. No overnight risk. AI, late in the day, I took the, I treated that as a Kata 2 and a PSAR flip with a measurable risk. It ran up and then came back, and that was enough to keep about 0.5. No overnight risk. Amazon, I like this as a COTA 2 after the morning hook. I took the 1, 2, 3 entry, which was front running the PSAR flip, and I'm holding that one with +1, and I want to see that go. It has to get above this limit around 127 to be interesting. Otherwise, I'll get out of this with the stop right about there. So I was speculating on tech and Amazon there. Caterpillar continuation for a fraction. It's just slow drifting. That's no sign of panic there. I closed the COTA 2 in Cliff. There was little to no follow through and starting to fail. CVS, I took the SSC. So this rolled over after a harsh winter, gapped up through, took that with a standard risk. It ran up and then started to collapse. I got a bad fill on the dragon exit, so we kept the fraction. Then it reversed. I took a 1, 2, 3 as this found support. And then the second leg up, I'm holding +1. And this price is better than the R10s. So I feel like that is almost an emerging dragon. It really is an emerging dragon. And if it can get above 70.30, it's free and clear. So that the re-entry paid off intraday. I decided to continue that. Dish Network was a slow roller, abnormally quiet Z3 super pinch. Then I got the alert when it made a new high of the day and a Z3 pinch breakout. I checked it out, bought it, standard risk, and it's given us 1, 2, 3R, and it feels like it's on its way. So we'll see how that goes. We'll manage that one closely. Devon Energy tried the supported fall crossing, the COTA 2 to the downside. It did not collapse, and it's coming into the station, so we scratched it. Electronic Arts, I closed this long early in the morning as it started to gap down and hit the PSAR. It sold off, came back up. This was that 1, 2, 3 entry in the middle of the dragon. I gave it a try as a COTA 2. It closed for right about here. It was 1R in hand. I decided just to cash it. It was not a runaway winner, so I was just wanted to make bank. Emerging markets, I took the SSC in a quiet intraday move, and that's holding 2R. Ethereum, COTA 2 entry, holding 1R, holding that overnight. Mexico, so this one, oops, I forgot missed the exit on this one. Sorry, that exit should be here. Sorry. How did I miss that? So we had a good long short. A good 2-day short, a long positive move. We tried this one yesterday. It's lost 1R. I tried this one again and decided on that to hold it. It gapped down, so that was a -3R, the worst trade in the last 6 weeks. I missed the revenge trade, which would have brought it back to 0. Just was really upset about that one. Couldn't get on it. So Mexico. I like it. I like the way this shaped up for tomorrow, and I'll be ready to get long on that. I just was not in the 0 state, couldn't handle that one, span of control. Brazil, excuse me. Brazil took the PSAR flip, cashed 1R. Intel covered the yesterday's long that didn't go anywhere for a scratch. International paper took the short on the PSAR flip. I was well over an R in hand and just was sloppy and let this come back to scratch. just bad form. I should have gotten something better than that. And then watched it continue to fail, and I didn't have the heart to chase it. Could not get in the zero state. Was pissed. Real estate, on the other hand, the risk box is small because the PSAR flip was so narrow. Yesterday it closed here. This thing worked. Now I want you to notice that the RL10 is the price. It did not come near my trailing stop of the PSAR. The body of the bar itself is noise when I'm only trading one position. So we're still holding this one up here with 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 4. No, I only had one position on it. It was an orderly move. I elected to keep it. Call it trader judgment, or the RL10 didn't hit the PSAR. This was not, the dragon exit is what I use when there's like a big run up and then it starts cruising back. This one is such a slow grind. That thing is just oozing north. The dragon's oozing, that's oozing. I'm just neglecting, benign neglect. So it has to, for me on that kind of pattern, it's got to be the and the RL10 is in the summer. And there's no resistance until it gets way up into here. So I don't even pay attention to that. Finance is kind of the same thing. This is regional banks and US real estate are the unsexiest sectors ever. So they just kind of grind. That's another reason to stay in them. And so this thing, notice again, the price just cruising and the PSAR is just cruising. On this little Kata 2, second entry here, closed really well. So I'm going to move my stop up to the northern skin of the dragon tomorrow and trail with that because I've got two positions in. And I can't tolerate an adverse move of that far on two positions. So I'll just upgrade the trailing stop to the northern skin of the dragon. Mattel, 1R on the collapse. And now this is a case where the dragon is appropriate because there was a big gap down, harsh sell-off, clearly bottoms out, starts to recover, and I'll take that for 1R. Notice the difference in that harsh gap, harsh sell, sharp reversal, routine exit, as opposed to in this one, this is just oozing along. That's how I see him. I feel that as just oozing north, like cows walking across the prairie. McDonald's. So we closed the long here. It ran up. This thing ran all the way. It opened up here and then started harsh selling. So I take that one at the edge of the dragon. That's the opposite of just moseying along. That is a collapse. So I take that one for 2R. Then I wait for this to leave the dragon, take it short, and this thing is now holding 2R on the downside. McDonald's. Merck. Emerging dragon after a Kata 2. So you got this, you got this. It closed here, gapped up and started going. So take it. One position holding about 1R. If you take that exit and re-enter here, I'm not offended. I would rather you do it and learn from it than ask me what I'm doing or why I didn't do this or that. You got to get in the habit of acting and learning with skin in the game. The long gap down minus 0.5. It sold off. It gave me a PSAR flip, kind of a revenge trade. It's +1. I don't feel good about holding that one overnight, except it's Microsoft. And if you take a look at this over the aggregate, that feels like a big fat cot of two, and I want to be long. And if it can get above this level tomorrow, I think it's off to the races. So I don't mind holding that one. I don't mind that re-entry and holding. It's Microsoft. Marijuana. This was yesterday. Excuse me. This was yesterday's effort on the long that scratched, and we stopped and reversed yesterday, and this thing just continued to fail, and that felt like a grind. I'd not be offended if you took that exit as long as you re-entered here. I've only got one position on it, and we're holding 4R. NVIDIA. Yesterday we tried the long that was scratched, tried the re-entry, held it overnight. Today it just zoomed, got lucky for 2R and continuing to go. Better to be lucky than good. Clean energy. Yesterday's long, which we held, gapped down and erased all of that for a scratch. I stopped and reversed. It sold off. I took the dragon exit for 2R. So out of that whole thing, net 2. No overnight risk. I'm ready for this thing to collapse more tomorrow. Like if this starts rolling over, I'll be short right about there. Rivian, another adverse gap for all of those that love to hold them overnight. Why don't you hold more overnight? Because of this. So yesterday I was holding 3R in hand. I thought I had a cushion. It gapped all the way down to here. So a plus 3R went to minus 2R. So that was a flip. Oh, I'm sorry, minus 3R, because you got to include this one. So that went from plus 3 to minus 3. That was a 6R adverse gap. Thank you very much. Stopped and reversed. The revenge trade, 6R. So blow it out your ass. Bad language. SPY. I got to go back and erase that. It's so stupid. SPY was a gap up, sell off, but a higher close and a higher low. So we got a caught a 2 formation in the broader market, and it just turned back into summer. So that is encouraging for the long side. Treasuries flattened. Tesla. I covered the had 2 positions on this from yesterday. So covered that one here after that little nothing. The RL10 rolled in and hit the PSAR, so I'm out just in time to miss that. I didn't want to chase. It was not in a zero state, so we made about 4R on that one, and I'll be ready to re-enter tomorrow. No trade in U.S. steel. Sniper trade of the day. So I've been showing a lot of OR3s. So here's one where I did not take the OR3 because I was still decompressing from all of those adverse gaps that kicked my butt this morning. So this one opens. Now, each one of these blue dots represents a PSAR flip, and I'm not trading it. None of those are patterns to trade until you get to here, where I get an alert which says, first of all, that yellow box is the MMR, is like a little over an MMRB in Dish. It's like, actually, it's, yeah, it's 10 cents. There's no harsh winter here that allows me to get an SSC. There's no successful SSC that allows me to get a COTA 2. That is the definition of a sideways quiet channel. So instead of trading every PSAR flip without regard to price action, that would have been 8 emotion draining trades. Here, I get an alert that we have a breakout to a new high of the day and a breakout from a Z3 pinch, and I let it move an MMRB off the top of that channel, and I get filled here with that unit of risk, clearly above the resistance. To our battle drill, second position. Routine exit. Train comes into the station to the PSAR. It resumes. So I buy it again with the standard risk. Sniper exit at the end of the day, or dragon exit at the end of the day for about 1 R. This one gains, whatever that is, let's see. 1, 2, 3 R on this one, 1 R on that one, total 4 R. So not every sniper trade of the day is an OR3. That's an advanced technique. That is a sniper trade that breaks out of a Z3 super pinch. And the alert on TC2000 tells me when I have a Z3P and when I have a breakout, and it takes me 5 seconds to look at that and say, yeah, I'll buy that. And there's my risk, and off we go. Battle drill, sniper trading. Sorry. Rad skipped the morning trade. Don't know why. But he brings home 4.5 the rest of the day with a win, quick loss, big win. He re-enters, and he doesn't even take this. So just on this, he brings home 4.5, and he missed 3/4 of the big moves of the day. Take that. Gets paid for 1.5 and 0.09 in Aussie. Look how orderly and smooth that thing goes. Love it. Brian brings home 0.8, 0.2, 0.2 for a total of 1.2 in the usual way in the Kiwi. Hamad, I'm going to send you some separate, just relax and let today go as a shift to the 30-minute charts and just getting your mind right. Your coaching to yourself was sufficient, and we're going to just leave it at that. Just relax, find the movers, start incorporating the price levels from previous days, highs and lows, the way you see me doing it on the 30-minute. And I agree with your coaching comments. I think you're trying to do too much with it. Reduce your span of control. Find the movers. Let's see. We're going to shift to daily report. The market is trying to find some stability here at the bottom of the 30-day and 10-day channels. Remember, this big yellow zone down in here is where the important long-term support is. If it stays north of that, then we have a chance to see this. But realize that if this breaks, if that 30-day low breaks, it is danger. The river is near flooding. Still sideways volatile. This does not fit, and this is why I should be assassinated for holding any of those swing trades overnight. We're in sideways volatile, which says there is no basis for predicting direction, and yet there I was, and I got smashed for about minus 7 or 8 R total on those adverse overnight swing gaps. The intraday made up for a lot of it, but still, that was risk I should not have been taking. Volatility may be bottoming out here. We'll keep that in mind. That's really the most important factor on market condition right now is this. Sideways volatile. That's brutal. Dow Tactical, United Healthcare is making gains, but everything else is getting smashed. Lots on the auto framer, no surprise. Same in the ETFs, lots of auto framers. Buyer's market. McDonald's is, or gold's at 12 to 1. Oof. McDonald's at 4.5 to 1. Home Depot at 7 to 1. And this is a historic sell-off in treasuries. 8 to 1 on the auto framer. Devon Energy at 7 to 1. I'll be on that one tomorrow. And that's basically everything I wanted to cover. Notice the strength in real estate. That's another reason, I'm able to hold on to that thing a little longer. It was really recovering and just oozing north in a like a big fat cow. So I'm liking that one. Look at Coca-Cola get smashed. Holy smokes. Need to add that one to the swing. I feel dumb for not trading that one. Maybe we'll add that one tomorrow. I think we will. All right, guys, that's everything I got for today. We'll catch you tomorrow and be ready to rock. There was a really good lecture series tonight in the foundations. And remember, when you're a foundations student, you get access to all of those previous Q&A sessions from all the students. That is an invaluable resource.